Very good morning. Today I am going to talk about outcome-based education. See, let me first introduce myself. I am Dr. Sanjay Singh, and today we will have a discussion on this particular topic. It is a burning topic now. Outcome-based education is a burning topic and which is already implemented in our Indian education system, be it engineering or medical sciences, arts and science, commerce, allied health sciences, homeopathy, pharmacy, everywhere now this outcome-based education system is implemented. So there is a need for all of us to understand completely that what actually is outcome-based education. Today we will have some discussion on the basics. Yes, I will be covering the basics of this outcome-based education, and in next video we will be going slightly more deeper and where we will be going for mapping of program outcome and course outcome. Don't get worried now. Okay, whatever the terminology I am using now, program outcome, course outcome, and then mapping, and then its attainment and its assessment through various examinations, formative assessment, summative assessment, and various others like projects, case studies, etc., etc. That we will discuss in next video. But yes, of course, it's my duty to tell you now what actually is outcome-based education and why we have started talking about outcome-based education and its implementation compulsorily in Indian education system. Right. The very first thing, we must understand the difference between output and outcome, as a very prominent word, that is outcome, is used in this outcome-based education. So certainly we need to understand first, that what is outcome. We need to understand first what is outcome actually. So in a nutshell we can say that outcome is our childhood dream. Outcome is what? See, outcome is the ultimate goal of an individual. Ultimate goal. Then what is that ultimate goal? The ultimate goal is to become a doctor. To become engineer, to become a scientist, to become an IAS officer, and so and so. It means this is the ultimate goal. An individual who undergoes an education system is having a desire, an ultimate goal, a goal in his life that after completion of my education system, I will be occupying so and so position in so and so company, or in my life I may become an entrepreneur. Of course, that is also an ultimate goal. I will be an entrepreneur, I will be a highly successful businessman, I will be a software engineer. So with these ultimate goals, when a student or an individual works hard during his or her educational system to gain the degrees which will be helping them, supporting them, scaffolding them to achieve their ultimate goal, and that goal is outcome. Then, what is output? What is output? The question arises that what is output? Output is actually success in examinations, leading to getting a degree, educational degree, yes, of course, educational degree. Success in examinations leading to getting an educational degree, getting an educational degree, maybe with, distinction, gold medal, rankings, etc. This is output. Yes, with this output, if that output is pakka aligned in such a way that next step one is able to get the outcome, then of course we can say that that outcome is helping that person to get that outcome. Certainly output will help that person to get the desired outcome, but in present context, what we find that a student or an individual is able to get the degree, but he needs to work hard for more number of years, 1 year, 2 year extra after getting the degree to get that outcome, what he or she is desiring. We can say that around 80% or around 60% of the students, they are not able to achieve their ultimate goal immediately after getting a very good output. Yes, it's not that they are getting failed, they are not getting success. No, they get success in their educational system, but not in a position to achieve that outcome immediately. This is the difference between output and outcome, which we need to understand, and this particular necessity is being felt by various educationists. The gap is being analyzed, the gap is understood by educationists, and then it is the demand in educational system to implement outcome-based education. I hope you all have understood now that what is output and what is outcome, right? Come, next. Yes. Now, gone are the days. Yes, gone are the days. I am sure you all would be telling that which days have gone, right? Which days have gone? So gone are the days, gone are the days in which people were reluctant to move from place to place, right? I should talk more actually. I am not here to write more and more. I want my students to listen to me. So let me talk more and more. What actually, when during my olden days or during the days when our fathers, they were acquiring education system, one thinking was prevailing at that particular point of time. And that thinking was, even if I want to work in any company or government company, I will work in my own hometown or home state or home city, maybe in home village. That was the intention, and they were not very much ready to move from one place to another place for any kind of job or any kind of work. But now the scenario has got totally changed. In present day, we can say that even the students who are studying in schools, they do have, most of them, they do have some kind of intention that they want to move not only from one place to another in the country for getting their higher education, and some of them, they even express their feeling that they want to have their higher education in abroad, in any other country, right? In other country. So with this kind of intention, many of the students now, they are having a desire to move from place to place. Somebody who is studying in Tamil Nadu wants to get his MS degree and other things in some another place in another state. In order to do that, the students is trying to move from one place to another. So that's why we have said that gone are the days when people were reluctant to move from place to place. So a need of OBE, we need to understand that now not only for education system but also for job, a student or an individual wants to move to various other countries. Various other countries. Right? So for getting the job to various other countries, now people, they are moving. So leading countries in which more number of people, more number of persons were coming from various other countries for getting employment, Various countries, they sat together, their representatives sat together in the year 1989. In the year 1989, and they discussed in that common forum, which is called Washington Accord, Washington's Agreement. Okay, in 1989, they had a very good discussion on the topic that whether the degrees or the educational qualifications should be accepted as it is, which they have acquired in their own country. Should it be accepted as it is, or there should be some standards? There should be some standards. So Washington's agreement, Washington's Accord was the agreement signed by various countries in 1989, mainly to assist people for mobility, movement from one country to another with acceptance of the qualifications gained by in the country. Right? We did not sign. Yes, of course, India did not become a member of Washington Accord in 1989. Okay? In 1989, India did not become or did not sign the agreement. This is called Washington Accord. So Washington Accord is the agreement signed by various countries to help people, to assist people in their mobility. So the countries in which signed the accord, their people can move from their country to another country which has signed that Washington Accord for getting employment without any additional requirement in their qualifications, and the qualifications gained by in their present or parent country, that will be accepted as it is. Then this OBE system was introduced to put that standard one, to bring that standard in educational system which will be acceptable to international community. OBE, outcome-based education model, is being suggested to implement in the educational system of various countries. India also felt its necessity. Yes, India also felt its necessity. Why? Because from India also many people, they started moving to various countries, not only for employment but also for getting higher educations, for having MS degrees and other master programs. They started moving to various other countries, and also even for employment. We see that many of our Indian students, they are moving to various other countries for employment. By seeing the necessity, and in order to prevent any kind of inconvenience to all those students, in order to prevent any kind of embarrassment to all those students who are planning to have their educational qualifications in various countries other than India, India also entered into the Washington Accord on 13th June 2014. On 13th June 2014, India also signed this agreement and became an official member of Washington's Accord. On behalf of India, our regulatory body, National Board of Accreditation, signed this Washington Accord. Correct? Fine. Now, as India became official member of Washington Accord, there was a necessity for having a reform in educational system of India. So, National Board of Accreditation suggested to all higher educational institutions for implementation of outcome-based education. Let me tell you some of the Indian regulatory bodies. We know about UGC, that is University Grants Commission. These are the regulatory bodies which are there in Indian education system. University Grants Commission, similarly for technical educations, even for management. All India Council of Technical Education. For medical courses, National Medical Commission. For BDS also it is there. A separate national body is there, National Board of Accreditation for accrediting programs. Then coming to NAC, National Assessment and Accreditation Council, and several others. Each and every discipline is having its own regulatory body. Okay, its own regulatory body. So these are some of the regulatory bodies which I am talking about, and they used to put various standards time to time to bring reformation in the education system. And mainly all of these regulatory bodies have accepted the Washington Accord, and that is implementation of outcome-based education. Right. So as NBA signed the agreement, NBA suggested that any graduate not only engineering graduate, any graduate must have some graduate attributes, that is characteristics, abilities, capacities, capabilities. Okay? After completion of their graduation degree, they must have these capacities compulsorily, where they are, we can say that, employment ready. This is all for making themselves employment ready. For making themselves employment ready. So this outcome-based education, NBA suggested to implement in all higher education systems. Now NBA gave 12 standard program outcomes, standard POs, program outcomes. 12 standard program outcomes were suggested by NBA as the ability in an individual after completion of the program, and that should be measurable. The main thing is measurable and attainable. The main point is measurable. It can be measured, it can be seen, it can very well be observed. So it is measurable and attainable. So these standard program outcomes, that is 12 standard program outcomes, we are going to talk about. First one, applying domain knowledge. Domain knowledge. Applying domain knowledge. So the knowledge which one has gained, engineering knowledge, pharmacy knowledge, arts and science knowledge, commerce knowledge, okay? So this applying domain knowledge in tackling situations. For what? In tackling or encountering various situations. In tackling various situations. Situations may be conducive or problematic. Various situations. It is given that applying the knowledge of science, technology, engineering, management in tackling various situations. So one should be in a position to apply that domain knowledge. Second, analyze. One should be in a position to analyze the situation, analyze the problem. So problem analysis. Problem analysis. These are capabilities in an individual, ability in an individual. So problem analysis is the second one, standard program outcomes. Third one, design or development of solutions. After analyzing, one should be in a position to suggest the solution, further solution. Applying his or her domain knowledge, one should be in a position to suggest solution. Then fourth one, conduct investigations of complex problems. Complex problems. Now it is going towards little bit more opening of knowledge, expanding of knowledge domain, in which one can conduct investigation of complex problems, one can find out the root cause of complex problems and then suggest solution. Then fifth one, modern tool uses. Modern tool uses. It means the student should be aware of all the modern tools, be it software tool, be it the current machinery, and be it the current softwares which are being used in that particular domain, one should be aware of all those modern tools. These 5 are specifically related to the domain knowledge. Is specifically related to the domain knowledge. From 6th one, how the student, how the person, an individual is responsible for the society, responsible for the environment, responsible for his or her self-development, how he or she is communicating. It means it is talking about his personality and behavior. Personality, attitude, and behavior. 6th one is like engineer and society. If pharmacy person is there, pharmacist and society, arts and science commerce graduate and society, like this. Okay, so one is contributing towards society. One should be in a position to relate the knowledge for the development of society. We all are living in society. We are morally and socially bound to develop our society. Then 7th one, environment and sustainability. Environment and sustainability. Environment and sustainability. 8th one, so one should be cautious about its environment. We all are talking about global warming now, but what is global warming? How our work will affect that global warming? Whether we are working towards reducing that global warming, reducing pollution in air. So we must be cautious about our environment. Environment degradation is taking place at a very faster rate. Now it is very much required for all the students, for all the educated persons to take care of the environment in which we are living. We have to think about our generations and their living standards also. We should not give a disease-causing atmosphere to all our present generations and coming generations. We should not make an end of this earth with us only. We should think that for longer years, our generations and generations, they should continue their life in this earth. And it will be only when environment, surrounding will be, a soothing surrounding can be provided to them. A healthy environment will be provided to them. Then individual and teamwork. Individual and teamwork. How that student is individually behaving as a technical person, as an educated person, what is his behavior as an individual, what is his thinking as an individual, and also how he behaves when he is working in team. So that personality. Then 9th one is ethics. Ethics, professional ethics. When we are working on any kind of project, we must take into consideration the guidelines given by that ethical committee. We should not violate that ethical guidelines. Ethics. 10th one is communication. Communication here, it is how an individual is presenting his or her technical report, how he or she is creating that technical report. In conference and seminar, how one is presenting his or her knowledge in scientific conventions. Conference, seminar, workshop, these all are technical forum These all are forum where one expresses his or her knowledge, and that knowledge should be logical. The expression should be logical in all respect. It should be technical in all respect. So that is communication. Project report, preparing project reports. Okay, 11th one, project management and finance. So one should have ability to manage the project. So that's why these kind of abilities are being checked, assessed by giving the student as minor projects, mini projects, or some kind of final semester projects. Okay, and also one should have the required financial you can say knowledge, so that one should be in a position to prepare the budget required for the management. One is not talking about to become a CA compulsorily. Okay, that chartered accountant will be having a full detailed analysis, finance knowledge. But if a technical person is there, if a graduate is there, he or she should be in a position to say that if I am doing this project, what will be the approximate expenditure under so and so headings. So that is, a principal investigator himself is responsible to prepare that financial budget of this project. And then last one, 12th one, is lifelong learning. An individual should always be ready to get updated, to get the latest trends, knowledge of latest trends which is going on. So that is called lifelong learning. One should not stop his or her learning by saying that my knowledge is over. No. Technology is changing at a very fast rate, at a rapid rate, and one should be open for new learning. That's the main point. So these 12 standard program outcomes NBA gave to implement in the educational system, and asked all the institutions to design their own subjects. And in outcome-based education, the word subject is being replaced with course. So henceforth we will be talking course in place of that subject. So designing of courses are given freedom by NBA to all the universities, to all the institutions, affiliated universities, and it was said that we want these kind of abilities, 12 abilities, and which should be measured numerically, mathematically. We should measure it, and then only we can say that outcome-based education is implemented. So these are 12 standard program outcomes which are not meant for engineering graduates alone. This is a common program outcomes, and now all the disciplines have implemented these 12 standard program outcomes. Right. So implementation now. Now, how to implement? Then it was asked for if there is a need of implementation of OBE, it will be having 3 components. One is outcome-based curriculum. Another one, outcome-based learning and teaching, OBLT. Learning and teaching. And third one, outcome-based assessment. So the implementation will be taking place by having an outcome-based curriculum. If we say outcome-based curriculum, it means the courses which are placed in the program. Courses will be placed, various courses will be placed, and those courses will be aligning, those courses will have course outcomes. That is called CO, course outcome. Those courses will have course outcomes, CO, and those course outcomes will be mapped with program outcomes, the 12 program outcomes which we have seen. Right? So how to achieve that program outcome or OBE? It will be through course outcome, which will be mapped with program outcome, and lastly that PO attainment, PO attainment. So this program outcome attainment will tell us that whether really the student, and it should be done individually. This PO attainment is done for each and every student individually, right? For the whole class it will be there, that we will be discussing in assessment, but this PO attainment, how far the educational system has supported in achievement of that program outcome, that is there. So courses implementation has taken place by designing curriculum. Curriculum, what is curriculum? Curriculum consists of various courses which have to be taught in that program at various times. Yes, choice-based credit system is something different, where we are giving freedom to the students to choose their own courses at any point of time. That is called choice-based credit system. Credit when it is considered that 1 hour of lecture will have 1 credit. Okay, if any course, in any course, 1 hour of lecture, we consider it as 1 credit course. So that is there, course outcomes. So implementation, it was asked by NBA that outcome based curriculum have to be designed in which the courses will have various outcomes. Similarly, we all know each and every institution in higher education institutions, it is told by NBA that clear vision, mission and quality policy has to be defined. There should be a clear definition of vision, mission and quality policy. Then program educational objectives. Program educational objectives. That is PEO. PEO. These all are long-term goals. Program educational objectives and vision, mission and quality policy. These all are long-term goals. Okay. PEO. Then coming to PSO. Program specific outcomes. It is related to that particular domain. Now, like program educational objectives are being attained by a graduate after completion of 10 to 12 years of their graduation. It means after having sufficient experience, working experience in their domain, and when they start understanding about their contribution to the society, contribution to their self-development, contribution to the economic development of the nation, that program educational objectives will be attained. Program specific outcome, it is being taken that after 4 to 5 years of graduation, okay, 4 to 5 years of graduation, when a person starts working on his or her domain, that is called program specific outcome. Program is specific, related to mechanical engineering, related to electrical and transmission engineering, whereas program outcomes are general in nature for everyone. Okay. Then fourth one, program outcomes immediately after graduation. Okay. Immediately after graduation, program outcomes have to be achieved. Similarly, course outcomes immediately after completion of the course outcomes. Sixth one, that is called SLO, that is specific learning outcome or some people, they call it as topic outcome also. Yes, now topic outcomes are also there. So a specific learning outcome is after completion of that particular topic, a specific learning topic. So there are various outcomes. You see why we call it as outcome based education, because we deal with various kinds of outcomes. We deal with specific learning outcome, we deal with course outcome, we deal with program outcome, then program specific outcome, and then program educational objectives, right, which are long-term goals, and lastly leading to vision, mission and quality policy. NBA gave high marks to this curriculum design and course outcomes. Okay, program outcomes and course outcomes. Vision, mission and quality policy and program educational objectives. These are the various criteria which NBA has placed. Whenever NBA will be going for inspection for accreditation of programs, they will compulsorily check that what is the vision, mission and quality policy, program educational objectives, POCU attainment. They pay high attention towards this. And now even other regulatory bodies also have started implementation, compulsory implementation in higher education system. So this is the implementation. So curriculum design, then learning and teaching. Yes, in outcome based learning, when the learners will involved actively, not only in learning but also in assessment. There is a need for learners to get involved not only in learning but also in assessment. That is outcome based assessment. We'll see now. So these are the courses. Now coming to how that outcomes will be defined, how that outcomes will be designed, right? What should be the course outcome, how it will be designed. Then we'll go next. Right. So this outcome based education model, it was suggested that Bloom's taxonomy has to be used. So Benjamin Bloom was an educationist from US, gave this hierarchical structure, taxonomical structure in 1956. In 1956. Okay. Right. And he categorized learning in an individual in 3 domains. One is cognitive, second is affective, and third one is psychomotor. Cognitive, affective and psychomotor. Cognitive means when the knowledge is taken in the form of remembering and understanding, using mind. Affective, it means, so here mind only. Affective, when heart is involved, when one is feeling very happy with the knowledge gained, when one is embracing it as it is playing role in his or her personality development, in change in his behavior. Okay, that is heart related, feeling for it. That is affective domain. And psychomotor domain, it means when one is working on it, using hands for activities. Okay, so psychomotor means using hands for activities. So that is skill. Okay, knowledge, attitude and skill. So that is being taken as knowledge. Then affective domain means attitude, and third one is skills. So OBE takes care of these 3 things that is knowledge, and then attitude, and then skills. Means cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain. So this Bloom's taxonomy, originally it was given in 1956, and this was used for designing various course outcomes, designing syllabus. The same Bloom's taxonomy is being revised Bloom's taxonomy. Revised Bloom's taxonomy, which is RBT, and this revision has taken place in 2001 by Anderson and team. Anderson and team, they revised this Bloom's taxonomy and they categorized this learning in 6 categories. They made a pyramid. Okay. A pyramid structure. So the lower level is remember, then understand, then apply, then analyze, then evaluate, and then create. So these 6 levels were given. Okay, 6 level. Remember, second, understand, third, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. This is the revised Bloom's taxonomy. In this, it was found that the education system was limited mostly up to the understand level, which was detrimental, which was actually not appreciable. If we really want a skill, it means we need to take the educational system up to this create level compulsorily. And this was the demand by that outcome-based education. Outcome-based education means taking the knowledge to such a level where one should be in a position to apply it independently, and also one should be in a position to create something new, to think something new. Critical thinking. We talk about critical thinking, 4 C's of 21st century skills. We talk about 4 C's of 21st century skill. That is communication. Second is collaboration. Third, critical thinking. And fourth, creativity. So this creativity will come only when the level of education system is taken to various level of apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. This particular Bloom's taxonomy hierarchical structure is implemented in various courses. Even the first program outcome, it is apply level, applying knowledge, discipline knowledge, applying domain knowledge in various situations. So that program outcome 1 itself is in apply level. There is no place of program outcome which should be in remember and understand. Of course, any topic which we learn first time, we start its learning from remember level and understanding level, but our knowledge should go up to the level of apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. This particular emphasis was done in outcome-based education, and it was suggested to have a complete reform of syllabus which we are giving to the students. So the course syllabus has to be designed to various course outcomes, to have that course outcomes of apply level, analyze level, evaluate, and create level. This was suggested by NBA to implement OBE, and various other institutions have started working on it. Yes, working on it. And at present we can say that most of the institutions have already implemented by having this reformation. But still we need to implement OBE in true letter and spirit, when this outcome based learning and teaching will get improved. There is a high demand now that we all teachers must understand and make our students also to understand that these are the program outcomes we need from you. And for that, you need to get involved actively in learning also and in assessment also, and from my side, teaching also will be in line with the requirement of OBE. Right? So this curriculum design or course outcome, as I said, the course outcome means curriculum will have list of courses, and these courses will have course outcomes. Then applying Bloom's taxonomy labels. You can say RBT, no problem, revised Bloom's taxonomy labels. So the course outcomes, and these course outcomes will finally lead to the program outcomes, 12 program outcomes. Now each and every course, there is not a necessity that it will be covering all the program outcome. No, there are various courses are there which will be meant for program outcome 1, some will be meant for program outcome 2, somebody will be meant for program outcome 12, some another courses will supplement, will scaffold for achievement of program outcome 7, program outcome 9, like this. That is called COPO mapping. But all 12 program outcomes must be, all 12 program outcomes a student must attain at the end of program. When we are calculating program outcome achievement or attainment, all 12 program outcomes. So we must have various types of courses. The courses may be in the form of project. The courses may be in the form of, we can say that experiments, laboratory experiments. So in assessment, we go for, now let us go for assessment. Okay. So there are two types of assessment, gentlemen, here in OBE. One is direct assessment and one is indirect assessment. Indirect assessment. Direct assessment through various fixed hour tests. We can say that formative assessment means which are conducted internally for awarding internal marks. Summative assessment, and we can say some kind of diagnostic assessment, laboratories, mid-semester practical examinations, everything will come under this formative assessment. So formative assessment and summative assessments are giving direct. So we can say that remember, understand and apply. To some extent, with the direct assessments, we can find it out, we can assess on these levels of remember, understand and apply. Similarly, for analyze also, in some respect, we can find it out, analyze. Then coming to evaluate and then create, these levels of assessment needs another method. Means it should be hands-on experience like industrial projects. So projects, technical presentations, capstone projects. Projects may be mini or minor, okay, with industry experience, industrial projects. So analyze, evaluate, create. In some extent we can use indirect assessments, that is called through projects, through their presentations, viva voce, okay, technical presentations, presenting paper, publishing paper, or appearing, going and attending various conferences, seminar. Their technical presentations are there. So in this way, analyze, evaluate and create. Those levels of understanding, those levels of skills can be checked in this various forms. So this is called OBE assessment. Now the question is how Bloom's taxonomy labels are used to assess. So what Bloom's taxonomy verbs are being given. So Bloom's taxonomy verbs are given for different levels. Okay, for remember different level. Okay, Bloom's taxonomy verb. So Bloom's taxonomy verbs are given to design various kinds of questions, okay, for assessment, like for remember. So for remember, like we need to use some verbs: choose, define, find, recall, relate, because it is mainly related to recalling the facts, and some more are there. So these are the verbs we will be utilizing for designing of questions for assessments. Similarly, for understand, we can use classify, compare, illustrate, then interpret, rephrase, like this. Third level, apply. So these verbs compulsorily one has to use. Okay, so first one, apply itself, we can use it. Second, build. Okay, construct, develop. Okay, 5, model, organize. Okay, next one is analyze. These verbs have to be used. Okay, so first one, analyze itself, assume, categorize, okay, then compare, contrast, inference. Yes. So what it was there in previous Bloom's taxonomy, which was given in 1956, it was having nouns. Okay, and later on in 2001, verbs are being given. Okay, it is made as verb. So analyze, then evaluate. For evaluate, various, it is there like assess. Okay, conclude, decide, depend on your question. Okay, deduct, evaluate itself. Okay, judge. Similarly, for create level, okay, adapt, then combine. So creating means combining different informations of apply, analyze, evaluate and creating something new. Okay, compose and create itself can be used. Design. Design, develop, originate. So this Bloom's taxonomy verbs are being used in various kinds of assessments where we design questions which are given to the students during their examinations, during their various assessments. Now the assessments which are taking place, like formative assessment, which generally each and every institution is giving for, we can say, for awarding internal marks. Yes, we know that the assessment mainly consists of internal marks and university examination marks. So university examination is called summative assessment and formative assessment. Formative assessment or summative assessment, any one. Now even the question paper is designed in such a way that it will clearly inform each and every question, that which each question relates to which course outcome. For each and every course, like for course outcome 1 may be in apply level. We will be utilizing that course outcome 1. The question itself in that it will be given, it relates to course outcome 1 and it relates to this particular level of Bloom's taxonomy. Right? Some places I have seen that people, they are using the terminology for remember like K1, knowledge level 1, K1, K2, okay, K3, like this, because all these are levels of cognitive domain, K4, K5 and K6. So this is different terminologies used in different institutions. It doesn't matter. Only thing is that assessment pattern which are given by this Bloom's taxonomy verbs have to be utilized. So these are not only the verbs which are being utilized. There are many verbs are there. Okay, we can utilize and we can see that which kind of answer we are expecting from the student. That is main. Which kind of answers we are expecting. So whether we are expecting more technical informations on that particular topic, then we can go for. Like I am giving you an example. We do have an idli, right? Idli we used to have. It is a popular South Indian food. So we can say that an idli is a South Indian food which is generally taken in breakfast and also in dinner. This is just remember. Okay, an idli is round in shape, white in color, and it is consumed with sambar and chutney. Sambar is made of dal. This is remember level. Then understand, when we think that when we take the information of idli little bit more and we start saying that idli is prepared by using rice, by using urad dal, by using little baking powder, and first that batter is made, it is kept for fermentation one day prior and the next day morning it is made. So this information is getting increased, added. It means I am trying to find out that how it is made. This is going towards understanding level, right? This is going towards understanding level. And then apply. When we say that applying now that particular knowledge which I have gained in understanding, and I am preparing various types of idlis. The knowledge which I have gained that it is made of rice, it is made of dal, or it is made of something else, I will be utilizing. Maybe sometimes I may increase little bit more dal and rice content will be decreased, and then I will see that how that idli is made, right? I will vary the constituent, vary the ratio of the constituents, and will prepare various kinds of idlis, that is apply. Then I will try to find out the nutritious contents. in technical manner, more scientific information I will try to extract, whether it is consisting of these vitamins, consisting of these minerals, carbohydrates, fats, and some another proteins. If I will try to analyze various kinds of nutritional levels in various types of idlis, it means I am dividing the content in various forms, and now I am trying to find which one is better. That knowledge will go to evaluate. In evaluate, we come to a conclusion. We decide, logically we decide that this will be highly beneficial in so and so respect. That is evaluate. And then create. It means now I am having complete knowledge of that particular idli, and now I will think of making something new. Even I can go for analyzing of various kinds of idlis prepared in Karnataka, prepared in Mumbai, prepared in Maharashtra, prepared in Kerala, prepared in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and their idlis are different. By combining some of the constituents, can we create something new? See, a simple idli has made us to think so deeply, technically, scientifically, that we started thinking that how it will be helping to an individual after having it. All nutritious food also one will have, and simultaneously it will not create any adverse effect on health also. Adverse effect on health also. Right? So this is called assessment, where knowledge and attitude and skills all are getting developed. Right? We have come to the end of the session of this particular video. So we discussed first that what is output and what is outcome. We discussed that why OBE we are asking about OBE in the educational system. We discussed about Washington Accord. Right? Okay. We also discussed about various regulatory bodies. We discussed that how NBA has made mandatory to implement OBE in all educational systems. We also discussed about various program outcomes, 12 program outcomes which are given by NBA, standard program outcomes. We also discussed about outcome-based curriculum design, that is course outcome, program-specific outcome, program educational objectives, okay, vision and mission, and course outcomes and specific learning outcomes. We also discussed that outcome-based learning and teaching. Outcome-based learning and teaching means the faculty, the teacher should orient themselves to adopt these outcomes in their own behavior first, in their own knowledge first, in their own attitude first, in their own skills first. That is the requirement. And then taking the learners for participation in an active manner, And then we discussed about outcome-based assessment. We discussed about outcome-based assessments, how Bloom's taxonomy in outcome-based curriculum, outcome-based, you can say that Bloom's taxonomy levels are being introduced, and in outcome-based assessment, how to design question papers. Design question papers. Right? So these all implementation of outcome-based education we have discussed completely, and in next video I'll be discussing about that how PO-CO mapping and attainment will be calculated numerically. So this is for next video. Next video will be on PO-CO mapping with examples, and second CO and then PO attainment calculations, and then third principles of assessment. Principles of assessment. These three part I am going to discuss in next video. Okay. So I am telling a very big thank you to all my students, to all my faculties who have taken interest in watching this video, and I hope that some clarity I brought in this video, that why we started talking about OBE and outcome. Outcome, gentlemen, take it guaranteed. Outcome is nothing but the childhood dream of the students. What he or she wants to become after completion of the educational system, that is the outcome. And if we will be achieving that particular outcome, we take it guaranteed that OBE is implemented in true letter and spirit. Thank you. Thanks to all of you.